Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of truth and architects of your own destiny, today I stand before you not merely to inspire, but to awaken a knowing that already lives within you, waiting to rise. For in each of us is the sacred potential to prosper, to thrive, and to live a life rich not only in wealth, but in wisdom, clarity, peace, and power. Yet many wander in search of a path that was never lost, only overlooked. We have been taught to chase the fruits of success without first tending to the roots, and so, I invite you now to consider not just the external mechanics of wealth, but the inner principles, the 7 sacred seeds, that when planted with conviction and nourished with right thought, will yield a harvest beyond measure. This is not a list, not a formula, but a living understanding. For what is prosperity, if not the natural expression of divine alignment, of living as you were truly meant to live? The first seed, and perhaps the most powerful of all, is the principle of belief. What you believe, you become. What you hold in the secret place of your mind becomes the blueprint of your reality. Most people are unaware that they walk through life hypnotized by beliefs they never chose, beliefs inherited from fear, from limitation, from voices that did not know their own power. To prosper, you must declare a new truth. You must say, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am success in motion. This is not wishful thinking, it is spiritual law. Your outer world is but a reflection of the inner pattern you hold. You are not required to see how everything will come to pass, only to hold the seed steady, unwavering, as it germinates beneath the surface of your experience. The soil does not doubt the seed, neither should you doubt your own good. The second seed is the principle of clarity. Clarity is the compass of creation. If you do not know what you want, how shall the universe deliver it? Vague desires bring vague results. To be clear is to be magnetic. When you speak your intention with precision and power, the very fabric of reality rearranges itself to support you. But clarity must not be born of anxiety or greed. It must be inspired by vision, by alignment with your highest purpose. Do not merely wish for more money. Wish to be the steward of wealth, the channel through which good flows. Do not ask for success to prove your worth. Know that you are already worthy, and success will rise to meet you as naturally as the sun seeks the flower. Write the vision. Speak the vision. Live as if it is already done, and the path will unfold in perfect sequence. The third seed is the principle of value. Wealth is not acquired, it is expressed. You do not earn riches by chasing them. You become rich by becoming valuable. Ask not, what can I get? But what can I give that only I can give? The world pays well for authenticity, for courage, for service that touches the heart. When your work becomes your worship, an offering of the highest that is within you, you tap into an inexhaustible supply. Consider the oak tree that drops thousands of acorns without fear of lack. So too must you give freely of your gifts, knowing that what you sow in value returns to you in multiplied form. Value is not measured in effort, but in impact. A single inspired idea, fully acted upon, can generate more wealth than years of busy work. To grow wealthy, grow in usefulness, in love, in excellence. The law is sure. The fourth seed is the principle of faithful action. Vision without action is only illusion. Yet action without alignment is exhaustion. When your inner knowing becomes so strong that you cannot help but act, that is when mountains move. Action must not be frantic, not forced. It must be led by insight, guided by intuition, fueled by faith. Many wait for the right time, but the right time is always now. Small steps taken in faith create momentum, and momentum creates miracles. Do not despise humble beginnings, for even the mightiest rivers begin as unseen springs. Trust that each inspired action sends out ripples of change, rearranging circumstances in your favor. If you cannot yet see the full staircase, take the next step. Doors will open where once there were none. The fifth seed is the principle of receptivity. To receive is an act of grace. Yet how many block their own good, with doubt, guilt, or a sense of unworthiness? The universe is not stingy, it does not withhold, but it respects your readiness. If your hands are clenched in fear, how can they be open to receive? If your mind is full of worry, where shall new inspiration land? You must make space. Prosperity requires an open channel, open to love, to opportunities, to change, to unexpected blessings. Say often, I am ready to receive. Say it with joy, not desperation. Let go of how your good must come, and simply know that it shall. When you live in gratitude, when you affirm that all your needs are met even before they arise, you magnetize the supply. Receptivity is not passivity, it is the deep stillness that listens and allows. The sixth seed is the principle of persistence. All growth follows cycles. A seed planted does not bloom the next morning, but it does grow, quietly, beneath the surface. There will be times when nothing appears to be happening, when your efforts seem to fall on barren ground. In those moments you must persist. You must know that the law is working, even when the evidence has not yet arrived. Faith is not proved when things go well. It is proved in the waiting, in the pressing forward without visible proof. Persist in your vision. Persist in your worth. Persist in speaking truth to every lie of lack that arises. The greatest treasures often lie just beyond the point where most give up. Be the one who does not turn back. Be the one who says, my harvest is near, even when the skies are silent. Your consistency will summon the unseen into form. The seventh and final seed is the principle of generosity. True wealth flows. It is never hoarded, never withheld. Those who give freely, joyfully, without fear, demonstrate mastery over money, and money obeys those who are not afraid of it. Give from fullness, not from duty. Give to circulate, not to sacrifice. Every gift, whether of time, attention, skill, or substance, is a signal to the universe. I live in abundance, and abundance answers with more. You may say, I will give when I have more, but that is the logic of limitation. Begin now. Give as if you already possess great wealth, and soon you shall. This is not charity, it is creation. When your giving becomes a declaration of who you are, the world rushes in to support that identity. Generosity, too, is a magnet, and so I say to you, do not merely study these principles, embody them, make them your creed, your compass, your code. Prosperity is not a privilege, it is a divine design, but you must activate it. You must say yes to it with your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your words. No outer condition can deny one who has aligned with these truths. There is no economy more powerful than spiritual law. There is no market more important than the field of your own belief. If you have ever doubted your worthiness, I tell you now, you are the vessel through which infinite wealth desires to pour. You are not here to struggle. You are here to shine, to build, to bless, to become the living proof of possibility. Plant these 7 seeds, not once but daily. Water them with gratitude, guard them from weeds of fear, and when the time is ripe, your life will become a garden of miracles, not just for you but for all who walk beside you. So walk forward now with courage, speak only what you desire to create, think only what aligns with your highest self, give as one who has more than enough, act as one who trusts the outcome, receive with joy, persist with peace, and believe, always, that your success is not only possible, it is promised. The seed is within you, the soil is ready, plant it now, the harvest is waiting. Let us now go deeper into the soil of understanding, for these principles, though timeless, are alive, and like all living things, they expand with your awareness. To live a life of true prosperity is not to simply accumulate, it is to become a steward of spiritual order in a material world. You are not here to hustle endlessly, or grind yourself into dust in pursuit of fleeting gain. That is the way of the world, when it forgets its soul. You are here to remember, to align, to operate not by the laws of chance, but by the laws of certainty. Wealth is not created by manipulation or force, it is created by harmony between what you think, what you feel, what you speak and what you do. When these are in union, the result is inevitable. The outer world simply mirrors the inner decree, and so, if there is disorder in your affairs, do not rush to rearrange circumstances. Rearrange your consciousness first, and the rest will follow with the quiet force of divine inevitability. This journey requires discipline, not the discipline of punishment, but the discipline of presence, the discipline to think intentionally, to speak only that which you wish to experience, to act from wholeness, not from fear. Your words are seeds too. Each sentence carries within it the potential to shape reality. Most speak carelessly, casting seeds they would never want to harvest, seeds of lack, seeds of struggle, seeds of defeat. Yet every declaration sets into motion an invisible chain of consequence. Speak always as one who knows, as one who is sure, as one whose word does not return void. Say often, I am provided for in every way. Say, opportunities find me. Say, I attract every resource I require with ease and grace. Say it not to convince the world, but to convince the pattern maker within you who governs the shape of your reality. You do not need to persuade anyone else of your wealth. You only need to persuade your own subconscious mind, and it will do the rest. There are those who confuse prosperity with possessions, but what is the use of possession without peace? What is the point of accumulation if your days are full of dread, and your nights of unrest? Prosperity must include joy, it must include freedom, it must include purpose. Do not measure your success by the balance in your bank account alone. Measure it by the depth of your fulfillment, the expansion of your expression, the alignment of your life with what makes your heart sing. You could be rich in numbers and poor in soul, or you could be aligned in truth, and the numbers will chase you. Let your inner world be the foundation. From that sacred place, all else arises. This is the quiet secret of the truly prosperous. They have mastered the inner game. They know that real wealth begins with thought and ends in form, not the other way around. And I must say this plainly: comparison is the thief of prosperity. You cannot plant your garden while staring into someone else's field. Their harvest is not your business. Your lane is your altar. Water it, protect it, love it. What is for you cannot be withheld, and what is not for you would never bring the peace you think it would. The world may tell you to chase trends, to imitate, to strive for standards you never chose, but your soul whispers a different way. Listen to that still, small voice. It knows the shape of your blessing. It knows the path through the wilderness. It knows how to lead you to treasures hidden in plain sight. Your unique vibration, your sacred energy, is the currency that unlocks doors no one else can even see. The moment you stop trying to become what others admire and start becoming what you already are, the gates open. Sometimes people ask, but what if I fail? And to them, I say this: failure is only feedback. It is not the opposite of success. It is part of its unfolding. A seed does not sprout because you panic. It sprouts because you persist. Every misstep is a teacher. Every delay is a recalibration. Nothing is wasted in the life of one who walks in faith. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. Learn the lesson, bless the experience, and keep walking. The law never sleeps. The law never forgets. If you plant in truth, you will reap in truth. If you plant in doubt, you will reap in confusion. Choose your seeds carefully, and tend them with love. Patience is the farmer's secret weapon, and so it must be yours. Let us now speak of alignment. Alignment is prosperity's silent ally. When you are aligned, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions flow in the same direction, you become unstoppable. Alignment is not perfection. It is congruence. It is saying yes to what is right for you even when it makes no sense to others. It is knowing that inner harmony creates outer order. If you feel blocked, ask not what do I need to do, but where am I out of alignment? Often the breakthrough does not require more effort, but more integrity, more honesty with yourself, more willingness to release what no longer fits. There is no abundance in pretending. There is no prosperity in self-betrayal. When you walk in truth, you walk in power, and that power draws provision in ways you cannot predict. Let me be clear, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of consequence. You were not dropped here to suffer your way to heaven. You were placed here to remember your divinity, and to live as one who knows it. Lack is not natural. Scarcity is not sacred. These are man-made constructs, born of disconnection. The earth is abundant. The universe is generous. The source from which all flows knows no limitation. If you are experiencing lack, it is not a punishment, it is a signal to realign, to reawaken, to return. Do not shame yourself for it. Simply listen. What belief have you been feeding? What thought have you been rehearsing? What lie have you mistaken for truth? Uproot it. Replace it with the higher knowing. Your prosperity begins the moment you believe in its inevitability more than you believe in your current condition. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. And so, when your eyes report one story, let your spirit report another. There will be those who doubt you, who scoff at your convictions, who call you foolish for believing in invisible laws. Let them. Their vision does not determine your destiny. You are not here to live by consensus. You are here to live by conviction. The most successful people in every generation were once called dreamers, rebels, even fools, until the fruits of their belief became undeniable. Do not wait for the world's approval to prosper. Approve of yourself. Approve of your vision. Approve of your path. That is the soil in which greatness grows. Do not shrink to fit the mold of mediocrity. Expand. Speak your desire boldly. Hold your vision fiercely. The law does not respond to hesitation. It responds to decision. And when you decide, fully, irrevocably, to prosper, then the universe must rearrange itself to support that decision. That is the promise. That is the law. And so, I return to where we began. You are the seed. You are the soil. You are the gardener. You are the harvest. Every thought you think is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. Every word you speak is a note in the symphony of your future. Every choice you make plants a seed. There is no neutral moment. Life is always listening. The world is always responding. You do not need to convince, to coerce, or to control. You only need to align, to trust, to stay steady in the truth you have claimed. Prosperity is not a prize for the worthy. It is the birthright of the willing, and you, beloved, are willing. You would not be here if you were not ready. The seed is yours to plant. The time is now. Step forward in full faith. Begin anew each morning. Affirm your wealth, your wisdom, your wondrous unfolding. You are more powerful than you know. You are more supported than you can see, and you are more deserving than you have dared to believe. Let today be the day you plant the seed of success, not with trembling hope, but with unshakable certainty. Your harvest is not a question, it is a promise. And it begins the moment you say, yes, I am ready. Yes, I am ready. These are not just words, they are an activation, a signal, a spiritual command sent into the invisible realms where all form begins. To say I am ready is to open the floodgates of creation, to stand not as a beggar of destiny, but as a deliberate co-creator of a life that mirrors your divine potential. And yet readiness is not a passive waiting, it is a dynamic state of being. It is preparing your inner house to receive the blessings you say you desire. It is acting in faith before the evidence appears. It is clearing the clutter, mental, emotional, and physical, that crowds the field of manifestation. Ask yourself now, in the quiet place of honesty, am I truly prepared to be wealthy, not just in possessions, but in perspective? Am I prepared to handle more responsibility, more visibility, more power with integrity and grace? Many unconsciously resist prosperity, not because they lack the ability to attract it, but because they fear what it might require of them. But let us remember this truth: prosperity does not corrupt, it reveals. It magnifies what is already present. When you are grounded in truth, aligned in purpose, and clear in vision, wealth simply enhances your capacity to do good, to expand light, to bless more freely. This is why inner work cannot be separated from outer wealth. You cannot sustainably hold what you do not feel worthy of. You cannot maintain abundance on a foundation of insecurity. So let your growth be whole. As you build the structures of business, career, or enterprise, also build the temple of your self-image. What you think of yourself sets the ceiling on what life can deliver. If you see yourself as lacking, you will sabotage every opportunity that says otherwise. If you see yourself as small, you will shrink from doors flung wide open. But when you see yourself as chosen, guided, equipped, and deserving, not because of ego, but because of essence, then no delay can discourage you, no setback can defeat you. You will walk through life with the quiet confidence of one who knows they are backed by the entire force of creation, and you are. Let us speak now of the rhythm of wealth, for wealth, like all living systems, moves in rhythm. It breathes, it flows, it expands and contracts. If you resist its rhythm, you experience chaos. If you learn to dance with it, you experience ease. There will be times of increase and times of pause. Both are sacred, both are necessary. In times of increase, your role is to steward wisely, to circulate boldly, to give and receive with joy. In times of stillness, your role is to listen, to refine, to integrate, and to prepare. Do not confuse a pause for a punishment. Often it is the moment before the next elevation. Many abandon their path because they misread the silence. They think nothing is happening, but much is happening beneath the surface. The unseen is always preparing the scene. When you honor the rhythm, when you stay in alignment through all seasons, you transcend fear. You become one with the greater order. And in that space, miracles are not anomalies. They are the natural outcome. Consider the river. It does not rush or grasp. It moves in perfect trust. It curves around obstacles without resistance. It does not demand that the mountain move. It finds a way through, always guided by gravity, by pull, by flow. Your path to prosperity can be like that, fluid, intuitive, responsive, yet unstoppable. But it requires you to stop forcing outcomes, to stop clinging to timelines, to trust that delay is not denial, and detour is not defeat. Some of the greatest blessings come dressed in disguise, and some of the greatest wealth is revealed, not in moments of triumph, but in moments of surrender. Prosperity is not always loud. Sometimes it arrives gently, in the form of peace, of clarity, of new ideas that whisper instead of shout. You must be still enough to hear. You must be wise enough to follow. There is a power in gratitude that cannot be overstated. Gratitude is the fertilizer of every seed you plant. It is the bridge between your current life and the life you desire. When you are truly grateful, not performatively, not transactionally, but deeply viscerally, you become magnetic to more. Gratitude shifts your frequency to the level of abundance. It says to life, I see what is good, I celebrate it, I welcome more. The mistake many make is waiting for big wins to feel thankful, but prosperity begins in the small. Be grateful for the idea, even before the result. Be grateful for the opportunity, even before the outcome. Be grateful for the lesson, even when it comes wrapped in loss. Nothing multiplies like gratitude. It is the spiritual multiplier, the amplifier, the attractor. Keep a mind trained on what is working, what is blooming, what is true. And as you do, you will find that wealth begins to meet you in unexpected places, not because your circumstances have changed, but because you have. To prosper in truth, you must also forgive. Forgiveness is a wealth principle. It clears the blocks that keep good from reaching you. When you hold resentment, anger, or bitterness, you entangle your energy in the past. You use your life force to anchor yourself to pain, and in doing so, you unconsciously signal to the universe that you are not yet free to receive the next blessing. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrong, it is about reclaiming power. It is about releasing the weight so you can rise. You cannot soar into abundance while dragging the chains of old grievances. Let them go, not because they deserve peace, but because you do. The wealth you seek lives on the other side of release. Free your heart, and your hands will be open to receive. Your relationship with money is a mirror of your relationship with yourself. If you feel shame around money, chances are you carry shame in other areas. If you fear its loss, perhaps you have not yet built the foundation of inner safety. If you avoid it, you may be avoiding other forms of responsibility. And so healing your money story is not just about earning more, it is about becoming more integrated, more empowered, more aligned with the truth that you are here to live fully, to give freely, and to thrive. Money, when properly understood, is not the root of evil. It is a tool, a servant, a magnifier. It expands what you believe. It funds what you value. It supports the dreams you dare to build, but it must not be your master. You must master it, not through control, but through clarity, through consciousness, through love. You must relate to it as you would a sacred partner, with respect, with honesty, with purpose. Speak to your money, bless it, direct it, celebrate its presence, and allow it to expand through you in ways that serve the greater good. The journey to wealth, in its highest form, is a journey of return, not a becoming, but a remembering that you are already connected to the source of all supply, that you are never truly separate from the flow. That lack was never your natural state. It was a mistaken identity. The truth is, you were born rich in creativity, in potential, in spirit. And now, through these principles, you return to that truth. You live it, you demonstrate it. You become the walking embodiment of divine provision. And in doing so, you awaken others. Your prosperity becomes a lighthouse, your joy becomes a permission slip, your success becomes a revolution, not of ego but of elevation. So plant your seeds. Speak your truth. Give with boldness, receive with humility, act with vision, persist with grace, align without apology, and above all, believe, not because you've been given a guarantee, but because you've remembered who you are, and who you are is enough. Who you are is powerful. Who you are is connected to the very intelligence that governs the stars and orchestrates the seasons. When you walk in that knowing, there is nothing you cannot create, nothing you cannot heal, nothing you cannot call forth. The world does not need more wealth hoarders or desperate chasers. It needs conscious creators. It needs you. Let the 7 principles be not just ideas you admire, but values you embody. Let them be the foundation upon which you build, not just a fortune, but a legacy. A life so full, so rich, so radiant, that it transforms not only your reality, but the world around you. The harvest is coming. You are its gardener. You are its midwife. You are its promise fulfilled. And it all begins, always begins, with the planting of a single sacred seed. Plant it now. Plant it with conviction, and let the rest unfold in beauty, in blessing, in abundance without end. Let us take a breath together, deep and deliberate. For what has been shared is not merely spoken, it is sown. These words, if allowed to take root, carry the power to reframe your world, not just in philosophy but in form. But understand this, no principle, no law, no truth, can override your own permission. You must say yes, again and again, not in a moment of inspiration alone, but in the quiet repetition of choice. Prosperity is not a single leap, it is a path, a rhythm, a way of being. Each day you are asked, will you align, or will you forget? Will you plant in fear or in faith? Will you allow the wind of doubt to carry you off course, or will you remain anchored in your knowing? The choice is always yours, and therein lies your greatest power. No external force can grant or deny your abundance. That power resides within, waiting for your command, your conviction, your unwavering yes. And in this path of becoming, let us remember the sacred role of imagination. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the blueprint of destiny. It is the language by which your subconscious receives instructions. What you consistently imagine with feeling you summon. The mistake many make is allowing their imagination to be hijacked by fear, by worry, by worst-case scenarios. But you were given this gift to create, not to self-sabotage. Begin now to use it with intention. Close your eyes and see your life as you desire it to be, not someday, but now. See the opportunities. See the overflow. See the doors opening, the hands shaking, the peace surrounding you. Feel it in your bones. Let it become so real in your inner world that the outer must conform. Do not just visualize outcomes. Embody the energy of one who already lives there. What does that version of you think, speak, choose, radiate? Step into that frequency daily, until it becomes your default setting. This is not pretending. It is pre-creating. It is aligning the seen with the unseen. You are not here to live a life of survival. You are here to thrive. But thriving requires space. It requires boundaries. It requires the willingness to say no, to distractions, to disempowering environments, to patterns that drain your essence. Every time you say no to what does not serve, you say yes to a higher order. Do not be afraid to prune. The tree grows stronger not by accumulating every branch, but by releasing what no longer contributes to its vitality. Your life is the same. Honor your energy, respect your time, protect your focus as if it were gold, for it is. Where your attention goes, your power flows. And power squandered on the unimportant delays your destiny. Begin to live deliberately. Ask yourself each day, is this moving me toward my vision or away from it? If it is not aligned, release it with love. You are not obligated to remain where you once planted fear. You are free to choose again. And now I ask you to consider this. What would it look like if you stopped seeking permission to prosper? If you stopped waiting for the perfect moment, the right approval, the ideal set of circumstances? The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment in the eyes of the world. But in the eyes of spirit, every moment is perfect when claimed with purpose. The door is not waiting to be opened from the outside, it is opened from within. You must believe in your own readiness. even when the evidence is still forming. This is the great paradox of success. It shows up for those who act as though it's already here, not with arrogance, but with divine confidence, not to impress, but to express. Stop asking if you are good enough, smart enough, deserving enough. You are. You always have been. What you've lacked is not worthiness, but willingness to rise.